Good morning, children. This is English video session for class 6. We are now dealing with the book The Pact with the Sun, chapter number 3, The Shepherd's Treasure. Yesterday I told you that I will be asking you some simple questions. Now tell me, who came to visit the shepherd one day? Yes, the king, disguised as a shepherd. How did he come? He came on a mule, riding a mule. Okay, what did the offer him? What did the shepherd offer him? He offered water and a meager food which he had. Meager means what? Very less food which he had, that he had given to him. Okay. Next morning, what happened? King said, thank you, your majesty, thank you, and he was going. So, did the shepherd understand that he is the king? Yes, very much. He understood. And what did the king felt? To appoint him as a governor of a small district. Okay. Did the shepherd change his humbleness? No. He remained as humble as ever. Okay. He was kind and good to all. Okay. But what happened because of this? What happened to the other governors? We will see. Now, the governors of the other provinces grew terribly jealous of him and began to talk to the king against him. They said he is very dishonest and keep for himself part of his money that he collects as tax from the people. Why did he always carry with him, they added, an iron chest? Perhaps he carried in it the treasure that he secretly collected. So they all tried to influence the king with wrong information that he is bad and the king should punish. But king knows about him. After all, they said, he is an ordinary shepherd and could behave no better. Look at the way the people spoke about him. Okay, now let's see what happened. The new governor was called to the palace. He was ordered to explain why he always carried an iron chest. The chest contained no silver, no gold. Let's see. At first, the king did not pay attention to these reports. But how long could he ignore these governors and their endless stories about the shepherd? Endless stories, every day they were talking about him, that he is dishonest. And he is he's an ordinary shepherd and he will do like that only. One thing was certain, the king discovered. The new governor did carry an iron chest with him all the day. Okay. So whatever they said, nothing was true. But one thing is true is he carried an iron chest. So one day the new governor was summoned to the palace. So what happened? He was called to the palace. He came riding on his camel, and to everybody's delight, the famous iron chest was there, fastened securely behind him on the camel's back. So it was also wow, the iron chest was also carried. Now the king was angry. Okay, so he was afraid that whatever these people said, was it true? He thundered, why do you always carry the iron chest with you? What does it contain? The king asked, why are you carrying this always? Why do you? What is there inside? The governor smiled. He asked his servant to bring the chest. Okay, how eagerly the people standing around waited for the shepherd to be found out as what? That he is a bad man. But how great was their astonishment, and even for the king himself. When the chest was opened, there was no gold, no silver, no jewels, but an old blanket. What was there? Old blanket was all coming out. Only one old blanket is coming out. Holding it up proudly, the shepherd said, this is my dear master, is my only treasure. I always carry it with me. Huh? They saw no gold inside that, and he is carrying this bedsheet, that blanket all the places. Okay, but why do you carry an ordinary blanket with you? Surely you are now the governor of a district. What did he say? You're what? You're no longer a shepherd, you're a governor. Why are you doing this? The king asked. To which the shepherd replied with great quiet dignity, "This blanket is my old friend." Who? Blanket only is the old friend. It will still protect me if any time your majesty should wish to take my new clothes. Now, one day or the other, if you throw me out of this place also, who will be my friend? This blanket will always be there to protect me. Understood, children? Cloak means new dress. What dress? As a governor. Okay. He was pleased, how pleased the king was, and how embarrassed the jealous governors became to hear the wise man's reply. Now they knew that the shepherd was indeed the humblest and the wisest man in the land. The king made him a governor of much bigger district that very day. It's from the Iranian folk tale. Where is it taken from? An Iranian folk tale. Such a lovely fellow, is it not? So you should not be proud. You should be very humble and you should not show off. Even the richness may come, they may go. But we need to be humble and loving to everybody. That is the main theme that is expressed here. Now let's see the question and answers. The shepherd hadn't been to school because he was very poor. There were very few schools in those days. He wasn't interested in studies. What was the right answer? There were very few schools. Very correct. Very correct. So write the heading, the pact with the sun. Next, what is this? The shepherd's treasure. Question and answer. Okay, write the first question. The shepherd hadn't been to school because write point 1, point 2, point 3 and write the answer. Answer is 2. There were very few right in schools in those days. Who visited the shepherd one day and why? Yes, think all of you. Who visited? Yes, who visited? The king, which is visited the disguised as a who? How did he disguise himself? He disguised himself as a shepherd and he came in a mule to visit and get the to where to the cave where the shepherd lives. Why did the other governors grow jealous and of the shepherd? Why were they jealous? Tell us, Father. Yes, he was still simple. The shepherd was simple, and people loved him. And he was always he was very famous. Everybody loved him, and they praised him. So they were all jealous of him. Okay. Why was the new governor called to the palace? Because the other governors, what did they say? They told that he carried jewels, gold, silver, which is taken as a tax money. He is taking it for himself and he is going around. Okay, so in order to stop, king knows that it is wrong. So in order to stop this talk, the shepherd was summoned to the governor was summoned to the palace. Why was everyone delighted to see the iron chest on the camel's back? Because they felt that inside, they felt that gold and silver will be there, and the shepherd is caught nicely. He will be punished. Okay, so there was lot of happiness in the other governor's mind. Okay, what did the iron chest contain? Why did the shepherd always carry it? Is it an example of shepherd's humility or wisdom or both? So let's answer the first question. You have to answer one by one. What did the iron chest contain? It contained a old blanket of the which he used when he was a shepherd. Why did the shepherd always carry it? He felt that it has protected in the past and it protects in the future also. Okay. Is it an example of a shepherd's humility and wisdom? Definitely, it is humility as well as wisdom. How did the king reward the new governor? The king appointed him as the governor of a much bigger district that very day. Okay, so there are 7 questions. Please answer all the 7 question and answers and be ready. In the next topic, you should do loud reading session at least for 1 hour. Evening at least 1 hour loud reading session. Otherwise, your Viva classes you will not be able to speak properly and you will not get good marks. Okay. TK children, write all the things. Learn. Don't waste your time unnecessarily. Thank you. Bye.